So welcome to our Joy of Fairies webinar. This is being recorded. It's being recorded so that we can send this link out to people who weren't able to be with us. And those that are here, you are so welcome. So Joy of Fairies came about pre-COVID, January the 5th. A magical tale came through the ethers, and I was so happy to write it down. And I knew that I needed to find a fabulous fairy artist. Well, I knew exactly who that was going to be, John Caraher. I had met John when he came on pilgrimage with me to Cornwall. Now, the night before, I looked on the internet to see who John Caraher was, because I didn't know what he looked like. And lo and behold, he was a Facebook friend. It's amazing how many friends that we have that we don't even know. And then I saw his artwork. And when I saw his artwork, it absolutely blew me away. It was phenomenal. Well, when I took John and other pilgrims out onto the land, we went to Merlin's cave. Now, if you've ever been to Merlin's cave, it's a tidal cave, and you can only get down there when the tide is out. I've always taken pilgrims there, and this time it was closed. We couldn't get in. It was because the steps leading down onto the beach had been damaged, and English Heritage had closed it off. So what we did was I gathered them around and I said, you know what? I'm going to tell you a fairy tale. So through the magic of Merlin and the magic of a fairy tale, a real slice of magic happened. It was a one-wish story. And after I told the story, I invited people to think, if they took a leap of faith, what would it be? And John's leap of faith was to go self-employed as an artist. Well, I couldn't believe that he wasn't already self-employed as an artist. And I said to him that day, you know, John, you are so talented. If you do not follow your heart, if you don't allow yourself to go and be a professional artist, one day you'll wake up and you'll regret it. Because all of the money in the world won't mean anything compared to following the beat of your own heart. And I love the fact that John went home, handed in his notice, and he went solo. So when this story came, which is such a magical story, I knew John was the person to help bring it to fruition. Now, John and I work really, really well because I can't draw for toffees. I never got past stick figures. Yeah, I can see it. So I was sharing with John different images and it started to come together really well. And then everything changed last May, because normally pre-COVID, I'm out on the land, taking people to nematons, sacred places, to waterfalls, to burial chambers, into the caves. And suddenly I was back home. And so what happened? The fairies came knocking on my door and they downloaded so many stories. Well, now I said to John, I've got all of these fairy stories. And when I shared them with him, he was like, Andrew, these are fantastic. And so we realized that the fae that were coming through also needed to go into the book. And so that has taken us on an absolutely amazing journey, which has required a lot more work. And it's also brought a website together. Let me share a little bit about the website with you. If you haven't been to our website, Joy of Fairies, it's a must. Now, if you look here, the side tabs aren't up. So all I've got to do is click over here and up they come. And if you want to go to listen to that fabulous story that changed John's life, then go to Footsteps in the Fae. And if you go to Footsteps in the Fae and you scroll down here, here's a fairy deer and a single wish, that one wish story, which changed John's life and also has changed mine in the relationship we have. Well, the first fairy that came flowing through was none other than Snout. Now, here he is in the Cave of Dreams. Let me show him to you there. There he is with his key lit up. You see, when Snout came through, what was amazing was he came through with this key. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but John had already drawn him. He was on page 1 of the book. And I said, John, you've already drawn Snout. He's right on page 1. But he didn't have a key at that time. However, John had started drawing keys on every page of the book. Interesting. And then Snout told us that he was keeper of the dream keys. What are the dream keys? Well, every month on the full moon, the fairies get together and they go to the dream tree on the dream isle. And you have to find a dream key to go there. And so we thought, well, how about we have some fun with the dream keys and put them on our website and allow people to search for them and to find a word that will light up our map. You see, if you go to the map, then right now it's not lit up. But what if you could? What if you could go on a quest and light it up? Well, the great news is that you can. Let me take you behind the curtain veil and you will see exactly how it is that you each month can light up the world of Joy of Fairies. Snout came through as the first fairy. Of course he did. He is the keeper of the dream keys, and his skeleton key opens the doorway to the Cave of Dreams on the Dream Tree Isle. He came in talking of keys and dreams, his love of trees, and his favourite snack, acorns. Let's take a waltz through the website and see where Snout hid last moon's dream keys. In Bluebell Wood, a flower key was hidden that the Cave of Dreams revealed represented the letter R. On the Fae Play community page, seekers would have found the dandelion key that for this moon was representing the letter N. The letter O was found in the spiral shell dream key on the scroll of the Fae Play Times page. The letter C was found with Snout himself, his second favourite key, depicting an acorn. And the last dream key was at the Book Nook and Treasure Trove. This was a little trickier, as only the mushroom cap was on display. Scrolling down revealed this key. What letter did it represent? A quick look into the Cave of Dreams shows it is the letter A. Have you sussed it yet? Jumbling up the letters and rearranging them into a treat of a word for Snout. We have acorn. Those who typed acorn into Snout's favourite key became map lighters. Congratulations! Snout loves acorns, though acorns have a strange effect on him. The bubbles he makes when he goes for a swim. Acorns repeat on him something rotten. Noises and smells trump out of his bottom. I wonder, How many people found these 5 keys hidden by Snout? And how many of you saw the clues that he gave on social media sites? He got the biggest kick of showing off the word and the 5 keys with the help of his friends. For 5 days straight, he and his friends played I Spy with 5 acorn dream keys. You see, magic happens in the spaces between the spaces, and that is what Joy of Fairies is all about. Snout is excited to see who will be map lighters this moon. 5 new keys and a new word is in play. We love Snout. He just really is a fabulous character, and one that always is pulling surprises. I hope you go onto our website and take a look and become a map lighter. Well, let's take a look at some of the other multi-dimensional aspects of Joy of Fairies. And one of those is the gifting tree. I wonder how many of you have visited the gifting tree. The gifting tree is an opportunity to help us plant an orchard. I went to a retreat center here in the Kingdom of Fife, and they have fabulous land, and the stewards of the land there have planted thousands of trees. And one thing that they wanted to do was to plant a mature orchard. And I said, that's a project for the Fae Play community. And my fiance Joyce and I donated an apple tree pre-Joy of Fairies. Now, through Joy of Fairies, we have the money for 5 trees already, and we're looking for another 21 trees to gift to that land. Now, the great news about this project is it's more than planting trees, it's how we plant them. And the Fae Play community can send their good thoughts, their prayers. So when those trees are planted, we will speak words of power into the roots of the trees as they are placed into the soil on the land here in the Kingdom of Fife. And it gets bigger, because what the beautiful stewards Mark and Till have shared is that they would like to have some kind of harvest celebration. And we talked about what that might look like, inviting local school children to come and have stories told on the land and songs shared on the land. And I said, that's me, I'll come and share some fairy tales. And we've called it Pippin's Orchard. It's named after the Pippin's Orchard that actually is in our Joy of Fairies world. So if you, like Snout, are a lover of trees, we would love to share that journey with you. And if you would like to be involved in this, if you see here on the page, right here is a donate button. If you want to find out more about Mark and Till and the land, you can click on this arrow here and it will take you to a great video of them sharing pieces of their story. And if you go here and you click on either the apple or the gifting tree, it will take you to more information. So I enjoy allowing you to explore the gifting tree. Also, we have the Fae Play Times. Now, the Fae Play Times is a fabulous magazine. We've got 2 of them out. If you've not looked into it, you can read either edition, or if you would like to listen to them, and some of the fairies speak in their own voices, you can press the links and you can listen to the Fae Playtimes. However, I wonder how many of you have got eagle eyes out there. There are so many things hidden on the site, and some are in plain view. Right here on the Fae Playtimes page, can you see the feather here? Well, that's one of the dream keys. And look what happens if you click on it. You go to the Cave of Dreams and you see that that feather represents the letter A. So we've already given you one key and one letter. You've got 4 more to find for this full moon, and you can be a map lighter. Well, the Fae Playtimes, let's give you just a little sample of it. This isn't in Doc's voice because this is about Doc. Window Dockleaf is the culinary chef to the High Queen and King. Enjoy Doc's Culinary Cauldron. Doc's Culinary Cauldron. Before the owl and the eagle's wedding day, when Doc was a wee nipper, so the stories say, he captained a crew sailing on a brigantine, on a quest beyond the veil, beyond the betwixt and between, beyond 7 mountains, beyond 7 seas, to the edge of the world, seeking healthy recipes. The treasure they sought was wellness itself, the nut, the kernel, the root to all health. In each and every port that they docked along the way, the wisest chefs had the same thing to say. It echoed the mystics' teachings that the core of vibrant health lies in the thanksgiving seed, which brings abundant wealth. This seed feeds our bodies, our hearts, souls, our minds. Doc sensed the treasure was in him to find. He charted a course that went far beyond the map. In spaces between the spaces, in a thin ethereal gap, he finally understood what the wise one's words truly meant. This seed he sought was indeed within him, found by being present. It is the attitude of gratitude, and will flower by blessing one's food. To inhale a meal without respect is really rather rude. Beings gift their lives. Beings die, whether one's eating pesto and pasta or burger and fries. Mindfulness, being present, savouring each bite, is Doc's essential starter to aid and whet your appetite. The earth, the wind, the sun, the rain nurture animals, vegetables, fruits and grains. And in turn, the flesh and tissue we eat, whether vegan, vegetarian or a lover of meat, is consumed by us so we can live. And in return, there is an opportunity to give a heartfelt blessing full of gratitude, to honour all life in thanks of our food. And there we have Doc. He's a wise sage. The importance of really connecting with our food, connecting with the land. That's the heart of Joy of Fairies. Our vision is to bring more joy into the world, playfulness into the world, and help people to connect to the outdoor spaces, to the wild ways of nature. And having that fun and playfulness, we have unveiling days for each of the fairies. There's maybe about 9, 10, 11 fairies that have been unveiled so far. There's so many more to come. And each one is sung into the world. what if you were to sing in one of our fairies? Now, you might be sitting there going, not me, I don't sing. One of the things that I have taught to many beings over the years is that we all have a voice, and our voice is uniquely ours, and we all have a song to sing. The crow does not apologize for its song, it sings. So I've done a mashup of 7 fairies being sang into the world by different people. A couple of them are professional musicians, others have a love of singing. So enjoy the mashup of our unveiling day.
It's unveiling day.
It's unveiling day.
It's unveiling day.
Time for the Fae to come out to play.
Time for the Fae to come out to play.
Time for the Fae to come out to play.
It's unveiling day. Welcome, Stinker of the Sheep.
Welcome, Sting of the Sheep.
Welcome, Dark Leaf of the Sheep.
Welcome, Burrow of the Sheep.
Welcome, Needle of the Sheep.
Welcome, Snout of the Sheep.
Welcome, Buttercup of the Sheep.
It's unveiling day as you step through the veil for all to see.
Rainbow sparkling, shimmering lights.
Rainbow sparkling, shimmering lights.
Rainbow sparkling, shimmering lights.
Dance a jig, rejoicing your sight.
Dance a jig, rejoice in your sight.
Dance a jig, rejoice in your sight.
Welcome, Stinker of the Sheep.
Welcome, Burrow of the Sheep.
Welcome, Buttercup of the Sheep.
Welcome, Sting of the Sheep.
Welcome, Needle of the Sheep.
Welcome, Dark Leaf of the Sheep. Welcome, Snout of the Sheep, as you join Joy of Fairies family.
Yes, join Fairies family.
As you join Joy of Fairies family.
And a huge thanks to all of those beautiful souls who gifted their song in introducing and unveiling one of these Fae. If you would like to unveil a Fae, even if they've already had a song sung to them, we'd love you to share one. If you've got a favourite character or one of our new characters comes up, we would love you to be involved in this way. It's a fun and playful way to be part of the Joy of Fairies Fae Play community. Now, of course, we have a book coming, and the book is coming this autumn. And we're so excited to share this phenomenal tale. And tonight we are going to be world premiering the book cover and some of the pages. And I'm going to invite John, who is our artist, to talk a little bit about these.
Hi everyone, my name is John Caraher, and I'm the artist behind all of the illustrations with our series of Joy Fairies. So here, this first picture is the cover of our first book, and here you can see it's full of life and lots of fun going on here. And we have a lot of our fairy friends who are hanging out in the trees here, inviting you to come join them on the adventure into the book.
What I love about John's work is I asked him, hide as many things into the artwork as you can, and as you start seeing the pages, you're going to realize There are so many faces in there, you will not see them on one visit. Uh, we have hidden the text. The text is not on the pages. That's staying in the veil right now.
So this is one of the pages out of the book, and in this scene, this is the story revolves around grandma and grandchild, and she's teaching her grandchild about the Fae and the natural world. And in this scene, she's welcoming all of us to join her and exploring things and learning more about the fairies. And as you can see, there's a lot going on in here, lots of little tiny details, and um, you might see a few random objects that they'll come into play later. And even within each page, there's worlds within worlds. So there's a lot of magic to discover with all of it. And this is another page out of the book. And as you can see, there's um, each page has many things happening just within a scene, and you get to see all these different beings. Even without words, you can visualize that they're doing things, they're dancing, having fun, um, and living life. This is a fun page out of the book. Um, we have a fairy house in here, and lots of the little beings just having a party in there. And you can see just so much going on. Just every page is full of unique adventures and so many things to discover. Um, and even with the little steps there, you can wind your way through all the little different areas that we have in the book.
You know what's fabulous also is as John and I were throwing ideas backwards and forwards, uh, we've come up with 3 puzzles at the very end of the book. And once you finish the story and you read those puzzles, you go back into the book to find the hidden things, which is going to provide you hours of fun. Whether you have children or you're rekindling the child within yourself, it's full of magic and it's full of wonder. Uh, to help us to bring this to fruition and to be seen and heard in the worlds, we need the support of the Fae Play community. And one idea that we have is a Kickstarter. And we're going to be launching a Kickstarter this summer and inviting people to join us and have the chance to purchase different pieces of artwork, which John is going to talk you through and explain a little bit more about the Kickstarter. I would like to say, if you're loving this story so far, please get in early for the Kickstarter. It helps with algorithms. It means that Joy of Fairies will be seen and heard by more people who do not even know it exists right now. I'm going to pass you to John, and he's going to talk you through some of the artwork that's for the Kickstarter and a little bit how the Kickstarter will work.
So this first picture here is a scene of one of the regions that is actually connected to our world map that is on the website. So this is the Brew na Jingleforth, and when you click on different places on the map on the website, it will take you into these different regions. So there's all kinds of extra things to explore on top of everything else. And with this, we decided to make some of these region pictures part of our Kickstarter. Um, so these will be in print form as well as postcards. So that'll be something in the Kickstarter as a reward that you can choose to get. And the thing with the Kickstarters, we're putting together more than just the book. So all these little things that are part of that will help us to propel forward, and really be able to produce a lot of everything that we're aiming to do with this project. So next, this is one of the original paintings that I'm currently working on, that you'll be able to have a chance to claim this as a reward in our Kickstarter. And there will be a couple other original paintings that will be as rewards that you can possibly get through the Kickstarter. And this scene here is actually uh, part of within one of the regions called Bluebell Wood, and this is the Well of Crowns. So this is where one of the rivers that goes through the world and Joy of Fairies gets its starting place at this well. Yeah.
This is the babbling brook that runs into Bubbling Bottom, where Snout likes to take a midnight dip.
So this next picture here is another one of the regions, and this is a small bit of the forest of Greater Stitchwort. And here you can see there's one face that's up close and in one of the big trees here. And there's a lot of other faces hidden within. So that's the fun part in creating all of this, is that so much grows out of everything, just as it does in nature. So you can, really spend a lot of time in each picture and see what comes to you, see what you find and discover.
I'm sure many of you, when you go walking through the woods, you look and you go, wow, look at the beings in the trees, look at the beings in the rocks. John, I mean, this is such a beautiful picture here. I love the being behind the big being. That one that's got the two silver birch trees coming out of his or her head. What a great being that is. So as you can see, there is so much beauty and so much work has been put in to Joy of Fairies. So much heart has been put into Joy of Fairies. And we hope that you see that, enthused by it, and decide, you know what, we'd like to be involved with Joy of Fairies in some way. You might have some questions stirring about how can I be involved, or some of the things that we've said tonight. Please type them in and send them in the. There's a box right at the bottom there where you can write messages, and they will go to our host Karen. But we came up with some ways that we thought that might be useful in you looking at of how you could help us. One is to sign up to our email list. I know you receive so many emails, and yet we won't be sending loads of emails out. We'll be sending them out when things of value are happening in the world of Joy of Fairies for you to get first look at. And that's an easy thing to do. I will be sending the recorded link to everybody. And once you receive that, there will be a message on it saying, would you like to be on our email list? And you simply can write yes and send that to us. And if you say yes, you go on our email list, and then we will be sending emails out every now and then for some great news from Joy of Fairies. Number two, share the webinar link with friends and family. That would be so useful. If you share it with 3 people and they share it with 3 people, suddenly we're building a Fae Play community of people who go, yeah, you know what, we'd like to be involved. Number 3, share Joy of Fairies with people of influence. There's a lot of you who are connected to different people in different walks of life who can open doors. You know the adage of it's not what you know, it's who you know. Sometimes having someone who goes, wow, look at this. John and I have the vision that Joy of Fairies, that the first story will one day be made into an animated short. Maybe there's somebody who knows somebody who goes, hey, check this out. Number 4, support the Gifting Tree Project. I mean, the world is calling for more trees. You know, John and I have discussed, you know, we in our hearts are visioning that Joy of Fairies is a global sensation. And that will bring in a lot of abundance. But John and I are not the kind of people that need to have 2 or 3 houses, 2 or 3 cars. What we would like to do is purchase land whereby it can be landlocked, wild places for the birds, for the bees, for the hedgehogs, for the fairies, for all beings, seen and unseen, to be able to visit and really appreciate the wild spaces. Donate some time and expertise to Joy of Fairies. We are trying to put together an official emailing list, and we've been having some challenges with that. Maybe somebody out there has that kind of expertise that could help us. It's a full-time job, Joy of Fairies, alongside our other things that we have going on in our other lives. So if you'd like to help in any way, we would just love to have that kind of support. Suggest Joy of Fairies to those who lead podcasts so that we can speak to more people. Submit photos of fairies that appear in nature. Someone just did this. They've asked for the link, and we're going to put some of her photos on our webpage. There she is standing, and you can see the little beings around her. Maybe you've got photos that you'd like to share. That would be wonderful. Submit an Unveiling Day song and video. We'd love to have more Unveiling Day songs. Comment on Joy of Fairies posts and share them. And become a Fae Play Family Plus member. This isn't happening yet. If you're on our email list, you will get the information to know when this happens. We're going to put a hidden doorway on the website, and it'll be a small subscription, and we're going to place future editions of the Fae Play Times on there, also some of the artwork in process from the early stages, some great stories. It will be a wonderful place for people to connect. Support the Kickstarter, and again, get in early to help those algorithms, please. And of course, visit and explore the website. There are so many things. We just this week hid 3 new things on the website. It's in the veil. So it's all about going and just clicking. You'll click something and go, oh my goodness, look what I found. It might be a piece of artwork. It might be a story. It might be a poem, something hidden. And you might be one of the only ones who has found it yet. So have fun exploring and playing on the website, as well as connecting up with some of our projects that literally take us out onto the land and putting our hearts onto the land. So before we do the drawing, for those who are present, to see if you're present to take the gift away with you tonight of an original Joy of Fairies print, I'm going to invite Karen back on the line, and if there are questions for us, this would be the time, Karen.
Thank you. I also posted the website on the chat window. If anybody has any questions, please type your question in the chat. There was a couple of questions. Hold on just a second. How will people be able to access the book? Is that going to be sold, you know, on the open market or through the internet, or how can people get the book in this fall?
That's a great question. Uh, I've published some other books, and one of the books that I published was 13 Steps to Bringing Magic into Your Life, and someone commented, well, if you want to bring magic in your life, then stop selling on Amazon. And I said, I would love not to have to go through all of the big chains all of the time. But bookstores have closed down. There aren't so many of them out and about there, and most bookstores will now only take your books on consignment. So yes, you can buy them directly from us, but we will have a small stock directly from us. They will be available on Amazon, and if you know people who have bookstores, please, we would like to, that's where we would like them to be in supporting more independent bookstores. So if you know where the books can be sold from, please let us know. But directly from us, and Amazon is our first port of call.
Okay, another question. How will people be invited to the Kickstarter?
Um, with the Kickstarter, we'll definitely have a lot of notifications and things coming through on Facebook and Instagram, and then we'll definitely have links to the project, probably even before we have it up and everything, so that people know where to go, and we'll send out a lot of reminders too, just where to look for it, how to get to it, and so yeah, we'll have a project for that this summer, and we'll keep everyone updated.
And of course, if you are part of the Play community and are on our email list, you'll get first notification of that. And if you haven't liked our Joy of Fairies pages on Instagram or Facebook, please do, because again, it will be posted there, and that way you can take a look every now and again and see, hey, when is this happening? One of the things that John and I have a commitment to is not putting the Kickstarter out there until we know that we can meet the deadlines to make sure that people get their rewards. Some people have signed up for Kickstarters before, and 2 years down the line, they are still waiting for their rewards. That's not happening with Joy of Fairies. The book, our fabulous Joy of Fairies book, will be part of the Kickstarter program. So there will be some wonderful things, but everything that we have will be there, and we will be giving a date and saying this is when it will be sent to you by, and we are going to honor that. So we look forward to sharing those things with you.
Okay, and this question, how do you get the postcards and the prints? And associated with that too is, John, is there any other artwork that you have produced that is available to the public?
Yeah, so with the postcards and the prints, those are going to be first available through our Kickstarter, but we'll also have those available to purchase through the store and our Joy of Fairies website. And so there will be a lot of things that will be available aside from that as well in our store, and that's something that will be yet to come over the summer here, as we develop things more. As far as my own artwork, aside from Joy Fairies, yes, I do a lot of different events. I take my work to shows, and I also have an online store. So we can definitely send a link after this, but it's johncaraher.com.
When you mention follow your heart, how do you do that? I mean, is there a technique to employ to follow your heart?
Well, for me, it really is being present. I think so often on the planet, we're not present. We're so busy trying to get somewhere. So it's being still and listening. You know, I remember the day, and John can speak on this from his perspective. But I know that day that I said, "Well, what would your leap of faith be?" It required everyone to be still and quiet, and really go inside to feel it. Uh, yeah, yeah. What was that like? What was that like for you, John?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I think we're so used to ignoring what's calling in our hearts. And it's so important to let go of all that other stuff and really listen what's inside and what's really calling to you, and that thing that just fills you with fire, and makes you feel good so deep down. um, and it, when you do listen to that and you follow it, it's life changing.
How do you hear fairies? I mean, are they audible? Let me see if I can word it the way he did. Um, I hear things all the time. How do I know if it's the fairies or not?
Wow, you know, I've always said to people, don't go looking for the fae. If you go looking for the fae, you ain't gonna find them. It's about sitting and being. Again, you know, I every year will spend time out on the land and have a quest day, a day of silence, a day to go and sit in the woods, go and sit by a stream, sit by the sea, and listen to what the wind has to say, what the rocks have to say. And when we're in those moments, I've always found that magic happens. And I have, goodness, if I could fill an hour's worth of talking about people that I've met who have had those experience of being really quiet. One of my favorite is my mum. My mum who came to Ireland with me and went, I get you talking about the ancestors, but what about these fairies? I don't believe in fairies. And then she went out into the land and was quiet for the day, and she had the most phenomenal fairy experience. And she went, I can't believe it. I was transported into fairy. And I'm like, well, you come to Ireland with a group of people who believe in fairies and say, I don't believe in fairies, you're going to get a fairy experience. For me, it's about really being, again, present and listening to what nature has to tell us. Anything you want to add to that, John?
Yeah, I'll just say that, um, the times that, sometimes they'll be whispering things to you, and if you don't listen, then they start hitting you on the head.
You know,
They'll make the
Joyce,
message louder.
yeah, Joyce said to me, because the fairies came in during COVID, during lockdown. And she said, well, of course they've come looking for you. They're so used to you going to the Isle of Skye, to Iona, to Donegal, to go into to these beautiful nematons, places of power, to waterfalls, to caves, whether it's in Cornwall, whether it's in Wales. You're always there and you're telling the stories, and the Fae always come in and they love you. And they're like, well, he hasn't shown up. Where is he? So they literally came knocking on my door. They kept me awake. I was writing stories at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Joyce said, tell them to be a bit more patient and let you have some sleep. But they were so keen. So, you know, You'll know when the fairies come a knocking. Right now, let's show you the, the print, and it's going to be of our world map. If you take a look at this beautiful map here, the regions came, and I sent John a really a stick figure drawing of Upper Stitchwort, Lower Stitchwort, the Forest of Greater Stitchwort, and then all of these different places that named themselves, from Pippin's Orchard to Bluebell Wood to Crowberry Moor, uh, and and then John got to play. And what was fun, even as we were developing the map, new pieces came. Uh, Upper Stitchwort started as a town, ended up as a city, and it reflects what's happening in the worlds where us humans really have taken over so many beings' habitats. We keep spreading out further and further, and so I loved it when it morphed into a city, uh, and and then little things came like the spikes that you see on the side here in the sea. They're the spikes of Maclear. Anyone who knows Celtic mythology will have heard of Manannán mac Lir, the god of the sea. So we've weaved in old tales as well as what's come through with the fairies, and this is our fabulous map.
As you can see, there's a whole world to explore there. um, but yeah, there's so much packed into this map, and the neat thing to really look forward to, it's neat just seeing a bird's eye view of the whole world here. Um, but and within there, there's I think about 25 to 30 different regions that you'll be able to go into, specifically on the website. So it's a lot of fun to really explore through, and there's so many different uh, elements of the landscape, so you can really learn a lot about different terrains and parts of wildlife too within exploring this map.
We said someone was going to be a lucky winner tonight. You have to be online. So if someone came and left early, and a lot of people who signed up said, well, I'm not sure if I'll be able to get there. If I can, I will. Please send me the link. So if I draw your name and you are online, please unmute yourself and say, that's me, and claim your gift. Denise Mandich. Denise is online. So Denise,
Hey, thank you.
that's fabulous. Well done, Denise. If you if you will be so kind, Denise, to
Yes.
send us your address to
Okay.
info@fairies.com, and then we will send you a beautiful copy of the map. From our hearts to all of your hearts, thank you so much for choosing to spend a bit of time with us here tonight to explore Joy of Fairies. We hope it's spoken to your heart. We hope that you love the playfulness, the joy that is shining through, the connecting to community and to the wild ways of nature. We hope to hear from you. I'm going to be sending the link out within the next 2 or 3 days. That will go out, so you'll have a copy of this recording. Please pass it on to other people who you think might like to watch it. Please share Joy of Fairies with others. And we hope to hear from you, whether it's through the gifting tree, whether it's to post fairy pictures of fairies you've caught on camera, or an unveiling day song, or that you would like to donate some time, or that you are interested in being with the Kickstarter or other aspects of Joy of Fairies. So thank you very much, and many blessings.